What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father at Amazon, Kindle, and Create Space. Link will be in the description box below as usual. Go get it. PayPal link there also. They asked me to put it up, so I put it up. Thanks everybody for supporting. But this video though is entitled My Red Pill Enlightenment. You see, I've been around the block, dated, relationships, no marriages, child, and there came a point where I was in red pill rage. Then, did the whole five stages of grief, anger, anger, sorrow, borrowing, bargaining, blah 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 blah, acceptance. But there's a part where I got enlightened. Some people say awareness, right? And the part was I had to sit back and I stopped taking women seriously because I looked at society. And society as a whole, women aren't taught to care about men. Black women in particular are taught not to care about black men. That's how they're raised. They're raised to look at us as the enemy, adversary, and just burden the beast, and the person who needs to come here, save it, and fix it, and then kick us to the curb until it all falls apart. They're brought up in the same way that non-black society is brought up. We want to ride on your back for accomplishment and use you, but we want to take all the credit. But when it all falls apart, we need you to come fix it so we can start to take all the credit all over again. Take the credit all over again. And I was thinking about it. I said, well, I used to get upset about that. All these women want to do is use us, use me. And then I got enlightened and I was like, most of these women are never going to care about men. Never. And most of their upbringing, even a good portion of the ones who actually do care about men, they've been taught to care in a perverted manner. Just because I care about you, you should give me extra reverence because my intent is better than the other girls. Even though I'm going to put in just as little of work as the other girls. But I'm going to make it look like, I'm going to make you feel like I care more than they do. So in essence, I'm really not going to do anything. And I became enlightened to that idea that, this is why women miss men who leave. And I forget the movie name, but there was a clip of the guy that played Rorschach in The Watchers. And I forget the movie. He was drinking, and I guess his ex-wife showed up, and she was trying to get on his case per se. But he walked over. They talked quietly, and he says to her, he said, "You know why I'm dating these younger women? Because they're nice. I take them out to a nice meal. They say thank you. They're nice to me. They appreciate it. They understand, that technically I didn't have to do this." And she realized at that point that she was never nice. And the reason I bring this up is because part of my enlightenment was to realize these women don't even know that they're being mean. And I take that back. They expect that they should be mean to us particularly. Because when you ask this question, man, they don't act like that to the white man, to the Asian man, to the Hispanic man, because they weren't taught to hate those guys. And as a matter of fact, when those guys are flawed individuals, they accept their humanity as being flawed individuals. As a matter of fact, if those guys are beyond flawed and downright dirty and nasty, they accept that people can be both good and bad as human beings. But us, on the other hand, that's not an acceptance. Unless we're the stereotype of the evil black man. This is why, if we can reinforce the stereotype, if we're liars, if we're cheaters, if we're stealers, if we're users, this is why these guys get quote unquote so much play, because I need that man to reinforce it. And for you guys out there who are the antithesis of this and you are just good guys and you wonder why, you know, she won't love you. Well, if you're a black man, you're not supposed to be a good guy. It breaks down the programming. You're not supposed to be a man. It breaks down the programming. So if you get sad, that's ridiculous. You're not human enough to be sad. You're not human enough to have feelings. You're not human enough, you know, to be vulnerable. And living in this fantasy reality that everybody else is a human being but you is something that you had to accept. But the problem comes in when you realize this is the world you're living in. You know, just like the women that will comment, I'm not like that. I've been in a relationship and I am with my man and I don't know what happened to you, but was I talking about you? You knew I wasn't talking about you because I don't know you. But I'm special and I'm the exception and I'm the only woman on the planet and everybody must be like me because it's all about me. This is the enlightenment part. They don't care about anything that you say. They care about what you do. This is the part about you need to build an infrastructure. Really? I need to build an infrastructure for me or you? As a matter of fact, I built an infrastructure for you. You didn't want it. As a matter of fact, I infiltrated the infrastructure that you wanted and put you in positions in that infrastructure for you to turn around and spit in my face and then say I didn't do anything. That was beyond treasonous. But you get enlightened to that and you realize this is the ideology that was passed down to these young ladies. Don't even know that they have. Where are the fathers? Whoa. Ask your mama where the father's at. I mean, your mama can't keep your father. Nor could she keep another boyfriend. Nor another husband. Nor could your grandmother. Nor could your auntie. Could it really be the men all the time? Was it the men saying, I don't need a woman? I'm a strong, independent black man and I don't need a woman for nothing and I could do bad all by myself. See, part of the enlightenment was realizing you're dealing with a group of people who just weren't socialized to care about your life. And that sucks. But guess what? That's the reality. Oh, and then the people who do care, I do care. I love you so much. And you know what? I'm going to be fat and overweight and all I got to do is care because I know these other bitches don't. I'm going to be 55 years old and I was going to be a total thought and a bitch my whole life. But now I know these young bitches and middle-aged bitches still don't. So I got to one up. So guess what? I can fall off and just care about you better than these hoes. And nobody ever loved you, so I can still win in the end. Which is some disingenuous, treacherous shit. And a treacherous angle to take. I'm going to do the bare minimum for you because I know what the minimum is that they do. And as long as I go an inch above that, that's all the effort you need. Because guess what? You're not used to being treated like a king because I was never taught, trained, socialized, or I believe that you're even, how can I say this? You're worthy of it. But I know you can treat me like a queen because you have all the skills to do it. So you treat me like a king. You treat me like a queen, and I'll treat you like a pauper, and I'll put a little crown on your head made of thorns like Jesus. You shall be my martyr. So This is why the guys get angry and stay angry, because they realize, oh, okay. But here's the thing you got to come to grips with. When Jesus walked away and said, hey, don't touch me. When Jesus said, Peter, you gonna turn on me 3 times before the cock crows. And Peter's like, oh, I'm not. Then that 3rd time he gave him that, told your bitch ass. Jesus said, I got to go with my Father. Why is that? I've graduated from being around you treacherous ass heathens. Judas took that money, then he hung himself, right? And so on and so forth. In the time, since it's Sunday, in the time after the ascension, I'm going somewhere. Just follow me real quick. Most of these apostles, disciples, whatever you want to call them, met tragic deaths to get back into the good graces of who? That very Jesus. Because now they realize something. He's aware and he's enlightened to the fact that no matter how good he is to us, we never intended to be good to him. And his coming was already told. He was going to come save us. And we were the closest things to him, and we even sold him out. So now what we have to do is throw ourselves on the sword to make ourselves worthy. But the problem is, he's not there to see it. See, the enlightenment wasn't about him, his sacrifice. The enlightenment was about his sacrifice showed everybody around him really how much of a traitor you are to your own Savior. And that guilt permeates in the soul. So when I say my red pill enlightenment, I realize that over time, all the relationships that I've had, all the situations that I've been in, I'm very much so missed in my absence. I'm glorious in my absence. But in my presence, I'm at a table for the traitors. And when I'm gone, you know what they want to do? They want to get back in my good graces. Oh, see, now you want to go around and preaching the gospel of good old L.A.R. Because now you sitting at a table full of Judases and Peters, and now you realizing something. And it's not the same Judas and Peter that's in the Bible. Now you have inherited that Messiah moniker just to see how it looks. And it hurts to realize this is part of being a parent. That sacrifice, it hurts. Part of being a single parent, it hurts. See, you wanted to be the one. This is part of trying to replace men. See, all these women are trying to replace men. And in the process, they lost their womanhood, their femininity. And they'll never have manhood and never be masculine. And it hurts. And what they're looking for is that masculine energy that puts them back into their feminine space. But here's the problem. You crucified your Savior. And now you're looking for everybody else to help you right that wrong. So are you going to hang yourself? Or are you going to preach the gospel until you get thrown into a pit of lions? It's going to be a tough road. Peace.